Welcome back to 360 Sports, where we bring you all the latest sports updates. For tonight, I'm your host, Madison Keener, joined today by Robert, Carly, and Brendan. We're talking all things basketball, so let's dive right in. So as we know, we had an upset. The Spurs announced that Victor Wembanyama will be sidelined. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think the Spurs team is definitely going to stay competitive regardless. It's an 82-game season, and I know calf injuries are very worrisome for the league, especially what happened with Halliburton and Tatum with their Achilles. But honestly, 82-game season, they're already predicting 2 to 3 week evaluation. I think the Spurs will be just fine.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I just think that they're going to definitely have an adjustment. I mean, he played both offense and defense, and he was a great player at both. He averaged about 26 points per game, and then he also had a bunch of assists, rebounds, blocks, and all that stuff. So I think just both team systems are going to have to adjust to his absence.
I think I'm a little more worried than you guys are. I mean, Wemby's going to be out a couple weeks. Stephon Castle's missing time. Dylan Harper, he's day-to-day with a calf injury. I mean, this is a team that's not very deep at the center position. Their bigs now are Jeremy Sohan and Luke Cornett. I mean, they're going to get bullied inside when he's not there. I mean, they're 10-4 right now. They're 5th in the West. Like you said, it's a long season, but they're going to be overly cautious just because of Victor Wembanyama and what he means to this team. But I'm a little more worried about them going forward just because of also how stacked the West is.
Yeah, I believe their record is 10-4, so I think they should be pretty good with that.
Also, the bottom of the West is also, it's not very competitive. When you see that play-in spot and you see, okay, if the Spurs are dropping games and let's say they have to go to the play-in, I don't think they're going to be, out of playoff contention at all. Because if they are, tenuring Wemby and, making sure he's 100%, they want him to go all the way into playoffs and have a deep playoff run with this team, give these young players some playoff experience. That's the goal for this roster right now. So as long as they get Wemby healthy for that end stretch, I think they'll be all right.
And I think they already are overperforming to preseason expectations. But looking at it individually with Wembanyama, he's probably not going to play 65 games. It's going to be back-to-back years where he's not going to make an All-NBA team and he's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year because of this 65-game minimum. I think the league is going to start looking at this because this is back-to-back years now where he is undoubtedly the best defensive player in the league. He should be making an All-NBA team, and he's not going to. That also affects contract stuff. The Spurs will be able to negotiate their roster a lot better. I think the NBA is going to have to look into this specifically because of how they're going to deal with his injury.
And we had some early week games. Starting off, the Sixers beat the Clippers, 110-108, very close game. So let's talk about that.
I mean, the Clippers don't move me at all. As long as Kawhi Leonard isn't playing, James Harden is not the point where you can carry a team anymore. But this is also a team, I think they're 4-10 right now. They don't have their first round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not.
The Thunder have their first round pick.
The Thunder have it. Yeah. They're not in a good spot moving forward. They're an old team already. I mean, Chris Dunn, Bogdan Bogdanović, Brook Lopez.
I was going to say, Chris Dunn has 25 minutes a game for this team, by the way, which is insanity.
They're getting consistent minutes. They don't really have a future. I mean, their young core isn't great, and their first-round pick is going to the best team in the league. So I'm very worried about the Clippers moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even look like they're going to make the play-in right now because it's solely Harden, and Zubac can only help you so much. And honestly, this team looks like two completely different teams when Kawhi is playing and when Kawhi isn't. Mm-hmm. So that's another big problem too. Obviously, great player, but you have to prepare that if Kawhi Leonard's on your team, he's going to be hurt and he's going to miss time. Yeah. You guys can't have two different identities when he's playing and when he isn't. As for the Sixers, though, Sixers actually look good. I think VJ's had a very good start to his rookie season. Maxey has been the offensive juggernaut with or without Embiid here, honestly. Mm-hmm. So as long as they can keep this up and Joel Embiid comes back soon, the Sixers should be pretty solid in the East.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Sixers put on a really good performance, especially in that comeback in the fourth quarter. I feel it was just a great game that they put on.
Yeah, because I believe Tyrese Maxey dropped 39 points, which is, very
He's averaging 32.5 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like the best guard in the East. I'm not going to.
In the East,
guard in the East.
Yeah.
And him paired with VJ, they are a good duo. And then moving on to the Cavs beating the Bucks, 118-106.
I mean, Giannis started this game first 13 minutes with 14 points and then goes out with a groin injury, and he's going to be out for around 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. This team is not very good without Giannis, honestly. It's very different from the Spurs because at least with the Spurs, you could have some young guys to rely on and go to if they are playing. But with the Bucks, you don't really have a number one option if Giannis isn't playing. I mean, you have like some other guys like on the bench that could rotate and maybe give you 20 here and there, but I don't think the Bucks are going to have a very fun next 2 weeks.
I don't even think they have a number 2 option without Giannis. I think he makes up the entirety of the scoring and then some. Without him, I mean, this team is pretty screwed. I mean, he needs to be there for them to have any chance in a playoff run in a weak East.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I feel like that pretty much just sums up all the notes that I had. So
And I think the top scorer for that was Donovan Mitchell with 37 points. So also very high scoring in that game.
Yeah, if you have any guy playing at an MVP level, especially the way Giannis is playing this year before he got hurt, like it's going to affect your team, regardless of who's your second option, who's your number, like even if your number 2 option goes down. Like Giannis getting hurt is probably the biggest injury to a team in the NBA.
Probably, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then finally, Lakers beating the Jazz on Tuesday.
The GOAT's back, guys.
Yes.
The GOAT's back. Dropped a calm double-double, only put up 7 shots. You know, he's just getting used to what's around him. He's playing with Luka. Luka and Ayton also had double-doubles. So the Lakers look scary with LeBron playing, and they look scary before that. So the Lakers have a very good chance of making it deep for an NBA championship this year.
The narrative that this team was going to be worse
Oh my God.
with LeBron was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard. There were talks they should get rid of LeBron while they can. Luka and Austin Reeves are the key to this offense. LeBron can play off the ball. He showed. He had 12 assists again on 7 shots. His first bucket was a catch and shoot 3. He was able to play off the ball very well. Luka still at 37. Reeves had 26. Like you said, I think this team, as long as everybody stays healthy, is going to be very dangerous and can be that tier 2 team in the West, because the Thunder are still pretty obviously tier 1, but they can make a deep run, maybe challenge the Thunder late in the season.
So
Yeah.
I think what LeBron has is experience. He has been in for so long, so that's why I think he has been performing, even though this is his first game back. It's
Yeah,
still
this was his
strong.
23rd season debut, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also just like you guys said, with his like teamwork with Luka, I think like it just put on a great show for everyone to watch. And I think it's going to show like what their team's going to do for the season.
He was also very strong on the defensive end. I know that's been a concern for a lot of people as he's getting older, but I feel like his defense from kind of his beginning of the Lakers tenure has gotten better throughout, because he's focused a little more on that, playing more off the ball. He's not the primary scorer, primary ball handler. He's a very good, it's crazy to say third option for LeBron James, but he's a very good third option for this team.
Yeah, so I was going to say that's the scariest part about the Lakers, that Luka's the first option and LeBron doesn't have to be the number 2. He could also be the number 3. Like LeBron being able to adapt to a team is, I think, what the Lakers needed to compete for a championship, and they finally got that in Luka, and I mean, the sky's the limit for them. So.
All right, next over. The State Farm Champions Classic took place last night with Duke defeating Kansas and Michigan State beating Kentucky.
I'm going to start with the Michigan State-Kentucky game. Kentucky looked horrible. I mean, they have no offensive continuity. Their chemistry is horrible. It looks like everyone's playing for themselves, not the team. Mark Pope, he does not have a hold on this locker room right now, and he said it after the game. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a direction for this team. Obviously, starting out with the preseason expectations they had. For Michigan State, they continue to be underrated. They were picked to finish 6th in the Big Ten. You can't count out Tom Izzo. They shot 50% from 3. They're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the Power 4. That also just shows how bad Kentucky's defense was. But Jeremy Fears had 13 assists. That was as many as Kentucky had as a team. So, I mean, it was a 17-point game, but Michigan State dominated them.
Yeah, I think this win for Michigan is just kind of going to put them not in an advantage, but just in the mindset to push forward through the season and just kind of start them off on a good foot, I think.
For Kentucky and Kansas, this is both their second loss of the season, and I don't see any competitive wins either in their schedules. Like, their wins don't look impressive, which is something to worry about for Kansas and Kentucky, in my opinion, at least. Going over to that Duke-Kansas game, another great game from Cam Boozer. He's going to continue to keep balling and looking like a first-round prospect. And yeah, no, that's really it. Jeremy Fears had a great game. Yeah,
I said he was like my standout of the game, because I said this in the preseason when he like first came out. I said he was going to be great this year. Like he put out so many points, and obviously coming from a great program like Duke, he has so much potential there. I feel like that really, like last night, really showed what he's going to produce for this year.
I mean, for Kansas, I was still very impressed with them. They were without Darren Peterson, who is arguably the best player in the country, and they look like the better team for the first half. Obviously, Duke, I think, just has more talent. We mentioned Cam Boozer, 18 and 10. Isaiah Evans had 16. He's an absolute sniper. Hit a couple threes down the stretch to really put the game away. But Kansas held in for arguably more than a half, which is very impressive against a team like Duke, who you make the argument is a top 3 team, maybe the best team in the country.
Oh, yeah.
So Duke versus Kansas, that was what, 78-66?
Mm-hmm. And it felt a lot closer than that. And the Michigan State Kentucky game felt a lot further apart than that. So.
Yeah, that was 83-66. So
yeah,
I agree with that. Well, as the season begins to ramp up, we have a few underperforming teams, and they've been getting ready to become sellers and some contenders for people to be traded. So what is everyone's picks of who might be traded this year?
All right, so I'll go first here. Definitely, this team should be selling at the deadline, in my opinion, because they don't have a lot to work with right now. So my player is Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine is on a $48 million contract this season and has a $49 million player option next year. If I'm the Kings, I do not want him signing that player contract. We're trying to build a nice youthful roster, something to build around Sabonis with while he is still in his prime a little bit. And LaVine just needs to go. He's averaging 20 points. He's having a good year, but I just don't think the Kings need him. And I don't think this is the direction that they should be going in, with just picking up veterans like him, DeRozan, and Westbrook and trying to make a playoff run. It's just not working. And honestly, let's get LaVine out of there, get him to maybe the Pistons, get some youth out of him while he still has value.
Yeah, the Kings have said they're looking to they're open to trading LaVine, DeRozan, and Sabonis. I mean, they have absolutely no direction right now.
Which is good.
They need good, that. But the roster construction makes no sense. These are all their star players that they've gotten within the last 5-7 years. They're kind of a dumpster fire of an organization. I think they need to absolutely clear house for what feels like the billionth time in the last.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind even like a team like the Heat or the Magic too.
Mm-hmm.
Like just get some young players, just get something out of them.
Yeah.
Build somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so for my board pick, I'm going to have to go with CJ McCollum of the Wizards. Right now, the Wizards are in a big rebranding period. They're trying to rebuild their system, their program, their team. And with CJ as a seasoned veteran, they're going to be looking for him to go into that trade-off. He's a great player offensively, putting up a lot of points, which is going to give him a high candidacy in that trading system. I think that teams like the Dallas Mavericks, maybe even Miami Heat, who need another scorer, are going to be looking for him as a great offensive player.
Yeah, I mean, Wizards are another team that's just they have young talent, but they still need to reset with some of these veterans like CJ McCollum.
Oh, yeah.
He's not part of the long-term plan. So
yeah, I think he's like in his 30s, and I think which he still has so much potential, but I think when you're in a rebranding period, you need to look for newer players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with a guy who I think has been rumored to be a trade candidate for a while, but has never gotten moved. I'm going with Lauri Markkanen. The Jazz are 5-9 right now. They've got a lot of young talent. Keontae George has had a lot of great scoring outbursts recently. Just drafted Ace Bailey. You got Walker Kessler, Isaiah Collier. You got a lot of young guys. Lauri Markkanen is not part of your long-term plan. He's averaging 30 and 6 right now. His value will never be higher. I think, like I said, their future plan does not involve Lauri Markkanen, or at least it shouldn't. If you're going to trade him, now's the time to do it. Get him to a fringe contender, maybe a team like the Knicks, the Timberwolves, a team that's looking to compete now, needs a scorer. You're not going to get more for Lauri Markkanen than you can right now.
Absolutely breaks my heart that Draymond Green said no, and the Warriors were like, you know what, Draymond, it's all right. We won't get Lauri. It's all right.
It would have fit really well.
Would have been perfect.
Jimmy Butler is a third scoring option because that's what it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about a team that in the West could still be a top 4 team. It is a shame that Draymond said.
Yeah, makes me sick.
It's a shame he has that authority.
Yeah, it really is.
Alrighty. For my board pick, I wanted to go with Anthony Davis. So as we know, recently their general manager was fired, and right now their record is 4-11, which is very unperforming. And I think with this team, with Cooper Flag on it, they're going to want to rebuild and bring these young players to bring over to him. So yeah,
it's an absolute travesty how the Luka Doncic trade has shaped up to be.
The fact that they're not even letting the trade marinate and they just kick Nico out immediately too. Like maybe you could work with something here. Maybe when Kyrie and AD are getting healthier, but like with AD, he's never getting healthier. But at least you could wait for Kyrie to come back and see what we could do maybe in the second half of the season. It's just disappointing.
Especially when Nico Harrison, when he made this trade, said it was going to be a 2-year window. That's what he was looking for to win a championship. And now you're not even halfway through year 2, and you're already looking to trade what you got for what is a top 3 player.
They wanted to win now, but they were in the finals before they traded for Anthony Davis. So I'm not really sure.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because like you said, he does get injured a lot, and he is a very expensive player. So I think finding those new players that can take over, I think that'll be very helpful for them in their upcoming seasons.
And as he's getting older, I mean, what value are you really going to get for him at this point? It's going to be like, I mean, less than half of what a Luka Doncic would be, as long as, I'm not sure exactly how old he is now. He's in his 30s, but again, extremely injury prone, injured now. It's a horrible situation for Dallas.
I agree. Okay, next topic, the upset. We had a crazy upset. D3 University of Scranton defeated D1 University of Pittsburgh 69-63.
Yeah. I mean, I just have to say, growing up in Scranton, I was really excited about this. I come from Scranton, so I had to talk about this. I mean, I don't think it was the craziest thing to ever happen in college basketball. However, I think it was really shocking and very exciting for a lot of people, especially because Pitt is historically known. Like, it's a great basketball school. And Scranton, not that there's nothing good about it, but it's a D3 school from a place where a lot of people don't really know. So I think that them playing this huge collegiate team that is really great at basketball, I think it was shocking for a lot of people, but I was really glad they upset Pitt. So,
I mean, I think it is, in our lifetime at least, the biggest upset that we've seen in college basketball. I mean, we've seen D2 teams upset D1 teams. We saw it in men's basketball this year, but the gap between D3 and D1 is so large. And this was a game that, this doesn't even count as a win for Scranton. This was technically a scrimmage game that Pitt was going to count, Scranton wasn't. And these D3 teams, NCAA allows this because they don't want it to go against Scranton's record. Yeah. Because they know this never happens. Yeah. And this wasn't a game that like Pitt was up for a while and then just blew it. Scranton was up 10 at halftime. They were up 14 at one point. They led for almost the entirety of this game. I mean, this is just a complete anomaly of a basketball game.
Yeah, no, I think it's just a win for college sports in general, showing that different divisions are able to compete with each other in general. And it shows you that at the end of the day, these are just all college athletes, and the better coach team is going to win. So,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
And we have some exciting games for tonight. Arizona at UConn tonight at 7. What are your predictions for that game?
I feel like UConn. I mean, first of all, they have the home court advantage, always a strong pro. And then they have such a strong defense. I feel like they're going to put Arizona's offense in a weak and stressful environment, and I don't know if they're ready for that. I feel like their ability to execute in these strong, close games is really gonna pay off in this game tonight.
I can't bet against Dan Hurley at home, especially Arizona. These like cross-country trips midweek, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how hard, because like at the end of the day, this is college kids that we're talking about. I mean, this is, and especially going to stores like you said, which is one of the toughest environments in college sports. The one matchup I'm really looking for is Kopete from Arizona, 6'8" freshman. He put up 30 in his debut game against Florida versus Terrace Reed, the Michigan transfer. I think it's going to be a very good battle on the inside. I'm going to go with UConn, though, just because, like you said, the home court advantage, and I can't bet against Dan Hurley right now.
I'm 100% going UConn because of Terrace Reed. He's been a dominant force for this team. And Alex Caravan is shooting 63% from the three-point line, which is unbelievable. And if they're hot now, I don't see why they wouldn't be hot against Arizona. I really do like Terrace Reed, though, a lot.
Yeah, he's averaging 20 and 9 this season. So he's the leading scorer on the number 3 team in the country right now.
And the next game, Alabama versus Illinois tonight at 9. What are our thoughts for that prediction?
I think we've seen a lot more from Bama in 3 games than we have from Illinois in 4. But I'm just going to take Illinois here just because I just think they're just going to come out top, stay undefeated. And Bama's known to drop these games, especially with basketball. Like, they always fluctuate. So I'm going to go with Illinois on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Illinois, too, just because also, like, Alabama, I feel like it's not a big basketball school. And then the only thing I would feel like that Alabama could win this game is if they get on a strong scoring streak. I feel like that's going to like mess up with Illinois a little bit. They're not going to be able to keep up, and then Alabama's just going to take that wave and run with it. And I feel like that would be their only challenge. But Illinois is better on the boards, and I feel like they just have like the better statistics here, and I feel like they're going to win.
Alabama got severely out-rebounded by Purdue when Alabama last played. Illinois is second in the country in rebound margin, but I'm going with Alabama. They got 6 days off. They got severely out-rebounded by Purdue, who's like the best team in the country, second best team in the country, however you want to slice it. They only lost by 7. Now you get 6 days off. I really like this Alabama team. I love their offense. I love their pace. I don't know how much I trust Illinois right now. Like you said, we've seen more from Alabama. Yeah. Going into MSG and beating St. John's, whatever you think of St. John's right now, I think it's a very impressive win. I'm going to go with Alabama.
It's not crazy. It's not. It's really not. That's why, I kind of contradicted myself in the beginning there, but I feel like because we haven't seen enough out of Illinois yet, that this is the game that they're just going to show everybody, okay, we're going to be a good basketball team.
I definitely feel like it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be challenging for both teams.
Alabama, they made a lot of mistakes in the game against Purdue, and they lost by 7. So I think that was not the best version of them. I don't even think against St. John's, even though that was a back-and-forth scoring game, I don't think that was the best of them. I think their best offensive performance is still to come, whether or not it's this game. I still think we have more to see from them, and I expect to see it tonight.
And I think this game is more of a coin flip, but the Rockets are versus the Cavaliers also tonight at 7.
So I don't have this as a coin flip. I think the Rockets are just going to win. And I'm going to say that because I'm so disappointed in Evan Mobley and the way that he hasn't stepped up to a true number 2 option behind Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell's been having to score 30, 35, 40, and just having to go off for this team to get wins. The fact that Evan Mobley isn't shooting as much as he should and trying to be at least a second option when he could be a number 1 option because he has the intangibles to do that. I love Evan Mobley, and he's just not playing up to par to how he should be. He's not. And the thing is with the Rockets, I think they're deeper, and Sengun and Kevin Durant are a great duo, and I think Sengun is going to kill them in the paint today.
Yeah, I feel like the Rockets are also going to win. I mean, I feel like they're really good off the board, which gives them so many more offensive positions than a lot of other teams. And then I feel like Cleveland's really likely to struggle with that and with their big shooters. So I feel like the Rockets definitely have a big offensive advantage here in a lot of different ways.
You mentioned Evan Mobley not showing up kind of as a second option. He's still one of the best defensive players in the game.
Oh, 100%. It's just that I really want him to just evolve his game as an offensive player because I see the potential, and he could be a prominent scorer in this league. He could be the next dominant big man in the NBA, and he's not playing up to that for me. But maybe I'm just getting annoyed. So.
Well, in this game specifically, Evan Mobley might not be showing up offensively. Jabari Smith might not play. He's got a knee injury.
That's also true,
I think Tari Eason, obviously, he's going to be out for a couple weeks, so he's also not playing. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell poised for another big game. He's averaging 30 already so far. I'm still not a fan of Houston's guard play right now. I'm going to go with Cleveland.
And then finally, we have Sixers versus the Raptors at 7. I have the Sixers, but what do you guys have?
I have the Sixers too. I mean, we talked about it earlier. They just put on a good game, and I feel like they have a lot of offense that can push past the pressure points that the Raptors are going to throw at them. I think the Sixers are going to come out on top on this one.
I think the Raptors are actually going to win just because they're the healthier team right now. Embiid's not playing, and I don't think Kelly Oubre is either, which as it sounds like, okay, it's just Kelly Oubre, but no, that's a prominent wing for the Sixers team. He's averaging 18 this season. And earlier in the year, the healthier team's going to win. I have the Raptors. Brandon Ingram is coming off a pretty solid game, too. Hopefully Scottie could pick it back up. I'm just going to go with the Raptors in this one.
And they played 11 days ago. Sixers won. I'm going to ride the hot hand until they prove me wrong. I wasn't high on the Sixers coming into the season. They proved me wrong. I'm not going to bet against them now. Like we talked about earlier, Tyrese Maxey looks like one of the best players in the league right now, averaging 32. I expect, kind of like with Donovan Mitchell, I expect another big game out of him tonight. I just even with Kelly Oubre out, I like the Sixers roster a little more than I like Toronto right now.
Do you guys have any exciting for NBA teams? Which ones you're most excited for this season to watch?
Probably LeBron and Luka, just their teamwork. We talked about it earlier. It put on a great show. It didn't win the game, but it helped the game a lot. And I feel like those two team together this year is going to be pretty exciting and very interesting for a lot of fans.
I think it's remarkable that the Thunder are having as good of a year that they are, when they weren't expected to live up to the hype last year, and now they're coming out even stronger this year. They're one of the best defensive teams, I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and in NBA history, like this team is not playing around, and they're deep, and they're just gonna have more first round picks. Like, I don't see this Thunder dynasty going anywhere, which is scary because being a fan of the Thunder, I was scared going into this year because we're gonna have a little down year after you win the championship, but it doesn't look like the case at all. So makes me and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander very happy. So
it's a team that you have to play perfect with them. But if you play perfect through 3 quarters, you're going to be exhausted. And then they're not tired and they kill you. If you don't play perfect through 3 quarters, they've already beat you after 3 quarters. But I want to take a moment. I want to shout out my Phoenix Suns. It's been a rough couple of seasons. They're the 7th seed right now. I was a little worried about how this Jalen Green fit was going to work. It's worked out pretty well so far. He's missed a little bit of time. Devin Booker looks awesome. Yeah. I don't expect this to be sustained. Maybe sneak into the play-in. I think a play-in would be incredible for their expectations going into this year, but very high on Devin Booker, very high on my Suns right now.
Yeah, look at Dylan Brooks, too. Dylan Brooks is scoring.
Yeah, it's a guy that I thought was going to be a 12-point-per-game scorer. He's taken over as when Jalen Green isn't playing, he is a second option. And it's a guy that you talk about guys that you love them when they're on your team and you hate them when they aren't. I never really got to experience that in any sports. This is the first time I get to experience that. I actually like watching Dylan Brooks play now. So it's a revelation. It's very exciting.
No. And I know that March Madness is far away, but does anyone have any college basketball teams that they're really excited for going into that special part of the year?
If it's not Houston's year now, I don't know if it ever will be. They'd be my pick right now. A team I'm very excited for, Gonzaga. They're scoring 94 a game right now. Now, they haven't played super stiff competition. This Players Weekend coming up, they play Alabama. That's going to be a fantastic game. I think they play Tennessee as well. That's going to be another great game. They actually stacked their out-of-conference schedule this year, so they'll be a little more experienced heading into postseason play. So I'm very excited for them. I'm really pulling for Houston because if they don't win it now, I don't know when it's ever going to happen.
They've been my March Madness pick many times.
Yeah.
So let's hope. Yeah. For me, I like UConn, man. I really do. I think who were we talking about earlier? The center on UConn.
Terrence Reed.
Yeah, Terrence Reed. Yeah, I love the way he's playing, and I think this roster is just very well because you have a great coach at the helm. I mean, when I don't know, man. It's just UConn. That's what I mean.
It took them playing the eventual champion last year to finally go down after 2 years of dominance. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be probably back in the Final Four.
I'd probably like to see Duke and just see how Cameron Boozer plays in March Madness. I mean, we talked about it earlier. He was great in the preseason. He's great in the season now. Obviously, Duke's a great team, great basketball program. They've dominated in March Madness before. I feel like it's going to be a good year for that this year.
They've won enough. They don't need.
I think it's just interesting to see how their players play. Not to see them win, just to see how they perform.
Let Houston get one. Houston hasn't gotten one yet. Once they get one, then maybe we can talk about Duke. But they've won too much.
Any thoughts for women's basketball?
I mean, until I see a team thoroughly dominate UConn, I cannot.
Yeah. There's just something about UConn basketball. It's just in the air. They're just winners, man. They just know how to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting. Well, I think that's all we have for tonight for 360 Sports Basketball. Again, I'm your host, Madison, joined by Robert, Carly, and Brennan. Have a good night.